The History of Madison Square Garden by Shanice Edwards. Madison Square Garden was first opened back in 1879 and was most famous for its entertainment. It was also named Coolest Arena in the U.S. by Rolling Stone, also called Venue of the Decade by Billboards. After the death of Commodore Vanderbilt, who owned the site, his grandson William Kissam Vanderbilt took back control and announced on May 31st, 1879, that the arena was to be renamed Madison Square Garden. The first venue to use the name Madison Square Garden, it seated up to 10,000 people. Vanderbilt presented sporting events such as indoor track and field meets, a convention of elks, the National Horse Show, and more boxing, including some bouts featuring John L. Sullivan, who began a 4-year series of exhibition in July 1882 drawing overcapacity crowds. However, the garden was hot in the summertime and freezing in the wintertime. It had a leaky roof and dangerous balconies that had collapsed, resulting in deaths. Vanderbilt eventually sold what Harper's Weekly called his patched-up, grimy, drafty, combustible old shell to a syndicate that included J.P. Morgan, Andrew Carnegie, James Stillman, and W.W. Astor, who closed it to build a new arena designed by noted architect Stanford White. Demolition began in July 1889, and the second Madison Square Garden, which cost more than $500,000 to build, opened on June 6, 1890. It was demolished in 1926. In February 1959, former automobile manufacturer Graham Page purchased a 40% interest in the Madison Square Garden for $4 million and later gained control. In November 1960, Graham Page President Irving Mitchell purchased from the Pennsylvania Railroad the rights to build a Penn Station. To build the new facility, the above-ground portions of the original Pennsylvania station were torn down. Originally called Madison Square Garden Center, the garden opened on February 11, 1968. And is the oldest major sporting facility in the New York metropolitan area. It is the oldest arena in the NBA and the second oldest arena in the NHL as of 2016. Madison Square Garden is also the second busiest music arena in the world in terms of ticket sales. Madison Square Garden's $1 billion second renovation took place mainly over 3 off-seasons. It was set to begin after the 2009-2010 hockey-basketball season, but was delayed until after the 2010-2011 season. Renovations was done in the phases with the majority of the work done in the months of summer to minimize disruption to the NHL and NBA seasons. While the Rangers and Knicks were not displaced, the Liberty played their home games through the 2013 season at Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey during the renovations.